Okay, this is Martha Keeper, and she's gonna tell her situation about our topic today. Now, what is your name and occupation and age?
My name is Martha Medlock Keever. I'm 65 years old and I'm retired, thank goodness.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Are you retired, still employed, and or unemployment, self-employed, disabled, and or SSI?
I am retired.
Okay. What is your job description and how long have you been with your job?
I worked previously for the Gaston County Health Department for 19 years. And ended up having to retire early, which is part of this discussion I'm sure we're going to have, to take care of my mother, who
Okay.
is just turned 94 a couple of weeks ago. So, again, that my basic background is administrative assistant.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Can you describe yourself and what type of person you are?
Ooh, okay, that's a good one, Tree. I compare myself to a lot of people, but I feel like that I am a softie, because I let my emotions control a lot of what the way I think and what I do. I feel it. I can
Mm-hmm.
feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that answered your question,
Yeah,
but
it did. It did.
I truly rule by emotions, which is not always a good thing, but that's me.
Okay. Thank you. And what kind of relationship you had with your elderly parent or family member that you're taking care before you had to take care of them?
Okay. My mother and father. My mother, it, again, is still alive. My father passed away in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky enough to get an angel of a caregiver, Carmen, and she has been with my mother for all of this time since my father passed and prior to my father passing, because she took care of him too. So I was married and had my own home and, visited and took care of their medicines, things like that. But had never had a situation where I would be like taking care of
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just being a daughter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what circumstances that had transpired for you to be taking care of your elder or your family member?
Okay. My the caregiver I was speaking of, Carmen, she had an illness and had to leave a little over a year ago. And she ended up being away from my mom for about 5 months, but we really weren't sure if she was ever going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So what I had to do was take an early retirement. My job was such that I was a key player and needed someone in it all the time. So I tried to do a part-time work, but mama was needy and calling a lot at work, and it just wasn't conducive to work. So I did elect to take an early retirement. And sadly, I was there 19 years. If I'd have stayed another year, I would have had like true, full retirement with the county, but I had to give that up to take care of my mom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you already answered that. The next question was which parent or elderly parent or family member did you have to take care of? But you answered that, and it's your mother.
Correct.
Okay. Uh, what are your elder parent and or family member ailments?
Luckily for my mom, health wise in general, she's in excellent condition.
Mm.
Her mental state, she does have dementia, early, not early onset, but and it's not severe. So she's just kind of right there in the middle where she can't remember like short term memory. But she always talks about her tennis years in Gaston County. That's why she is so healthy. She had again, no illnesses whatsoever. She did break a hip. Thank goodness my sister was there when that happened, because that's a lot. When somebody gets hurt. And one thing that I've learned in taking care of my mom, family situations are really tough.
Mhm.
You're judged a lot when you are the caregiver, and
Yeah.
again, as touchy as feeling person as I am, it's just been a hurtful year in that
Mhm.
respect.
Mhm.
So again, my mom did break her hip, but from what the surgeon had said, if you could have that kind of break, she had a clean break, and really was back up, But we did have to put her in an assisted living for a couple of weeks until she was able to. They did physical therapy and stuff
Mhm.
with her. So shout out to Bel Air here in Gastonia. They're amazing.
Mhm.
Really were good.
Mhm.
Very pleased to have been able to have her there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. At the beginning of taking care of your mom, uh, what was some of the challenges?
wow.
That's a good question.
That's
I
a
know.
great question because there's a lot, and I just assumed living with my mom,
Mm,
be easy breezy. She's my
mm,
mother,
mm,
but no, challenges, just personality, situations.
right.
Me and my husband living in her home was a
Mm,
really hard thing. We did end up moved out. We were in a rental home and we did move out. And just pretty much because we're moving into a fully established home,
mm,
didn't need anything. So we just ended up selling all our belongings,
mm,
which is kind of not been a good thing because a year later, as you will
mm,
see,
mm,
I probably needed all that stuff.
mm,
But
mm.
so,
Right, right. Okay. Now, what changes, if any, have you had to change when you had to take care of your mom?
okay. Again, my work relationship, which I was really ready to retire, so I didn't really find that as the worst thing that could happen.
Right, right.
But just learn again the learning, and I'm not sure if I understood your question all exactly. So let me say that.
Okay, the changes.
Okay,
What you had to change?
Okay.
Like, you used to go like
Oh, I used
to
to
dinner
travel. Yeah.
Fridays, or
Yes.
your
None of that.
changes.
Yes. My entire life changed.
Yes,
Bottom line,
it
entirely.
definitely
Everything
does.
that I was used to doing, I couldn't do anymore. I was
Mm-hmm.
tied to home,
Right.
because Mama couldn't be left by more than 20 minutes. I mean, going to the grocery store or something was just really horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And again, thank God that Carmen was able to come back and
Mm-hmm.
help me because
Mm-hmm.
it is a full time. It is a full time
job.
But
Mm-hmm.
my changes were again moving out of my home
Mm-hmm.
that we loved, moving into someone
Just
else's
your whole
home.
atmosphere
Yeah,
changed.
everything changed.
Basically,
Everything.
just
Everything that could
everything.
possibly change in my life changed.
Because you used to travel,
I did. I used to
and
visit
you
my
had to
kids a
slow
lot.
that
I
down,
couldn't do
and
that. I
really
had
you
to,
couldn't do it.
yeah, I had to have somebody come in. My sister,
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
she lives in Florida, so she would try to make arrangements to come, but that became an issue too.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get anyone to come at that
Yeah,
point. 'Cause
and
again,
that was
Carmen was not.
the next question.
Yes. Okay.
Did anybody? Did you have family members, church members, or someone else to come in and help?
Um, Again, my one sister, my family dynamics as they are. I had one sister that would come but only if needed,
Mhm.
only if needed, and it had to be like my daughter got married.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one I needed to be at,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a struggle because nobody wanted to come and care.
To have that responsibility.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I also felt, at times when you're doing all this and the changes and things, that you're being judged by the way you do or don't do
Right.
the care for this
Mm-hmm.
for a person.
For this person. Mm-hmm.
And they feel like they can tell you what to do and being far away and not living in the situation and understanding. Yes, Mama needs certain types of medications. With the dementia thing, her anxiety was just out the roof. Out the roof.
Yeah.
And so that was tough because my sisters don't believe in any type of medication.
Right.
But her doctor insisted that was something that's important, and I take it myself, so I know how that medicine works. But that was a huge help. But people helping me? No, we did end up
Mhm.
having to call the church just because they hadn't even reached out to my mother,
Mhm.
which was that was kind of a sad thing because she'd been a
Mhm.
member of the church for so
Mhm.
long.
Mhm.
But they did come. They didn't. Mama wouldn't let me leave her, if that makes sense,
Mhm.
to go places.
Mhm.
If someone was coming to visit, I needed to be
Be
there.
there. Mhm.
So I couldn't bring
And the
anybody in.
only person that really she would stay with was my mother.
Your mother.
And that will be at the beginning of this interview. You will see what I had to go through dealing with my mom. So we were like sisters, and we
Yes,
are sisters,
we are.
and we encouraged each other.
Most
So
definitely, that is the thing. If I had not had Tree helping me, because she understood, our mothers are like best friends,
Mm.
and they, they bicker, they do all their things, but they really need to be together.
Mm.
And that was something, I think, Tree, because she was having to take care of her mom, I'm taking care of my mom, and they had to be apart, and that was a crazy dynamic on its own. But God, if I hadn't had you, I don't know what I would have done, because you understood everything I was going through.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, because that way I didn't have to try to find time to go to caregiver meetings or something to get some kind of mental support, because it is draining.
Yes.
To your mental it is draining to take care of someone.
And like you said, it's like a job.
Yeah. Oh, it's worse.
And you can't have breaks. You can't have sick days or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And so
I literally have told my mother over this past year that I was taking care of her, just in joking, if you were my boss, I could get you on harassment and all the other things, because when an adult gets to be 94 years old, they live like they can tell you exactly what they think about you and all your family members and everything, and we're supposed to take it, and that's tough,
especially coming from your mother, and trying to
help her and
make her understand that I'm doing this for your well-being, right, nothing else, not to boss you around, not to get rid of your independence and all this. Exactly. It's just for your well-being, and that is mentally draining, and mentally just you're everywhere.
Yes, 100%.
And you have to have that outlet, and that's the biggest thing. You have to have that outlet. If you don't have that outlet, all those emotions and feelings stay in, and then one day it's just gonna blow.
Exactly.
So
now I did have my blows, and I call my sister.
But you're human.
I think so.
You're human.
I think I am, but I was still human. But you don't feel like it at times.
Yeah.
I felt very alone. I felt even though my husband was right there with me, God bless that man. He moved, whatever I needed to take care of my mother, he was there for us. And I will say, just a fast forward blessing, we're living in his mother's house right now, but she and his dad have passed, but we were lucky enough to land in a loving home. That I see as a issue, in that just the love of trying to take care of a parent. And they don't want it. They don't want it. My sisters and I, we've got 3 of us, and we had always promised our dad we would take care of Mama, and that was just a given. And when the situation came up that it was going to be me, well, because there wasn't anybody else, nobody else stepped up.
And let's put this out: are you the oldest?
I'm the baby.
The baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have said to Trees, she's well aware of my history and everything, but that my psychologist that I was going to back before all this happened, she would not have been happy with me making that decision to take care of my mom, because I really do have a lot of issues, I guess. It was a wonderful, loving home. I'm not saying that, but there were issues with my mom, and it's just really, it escalated with me being there. Her just want me all to herself, not to share me with friends, with my husband, with anybody.
She just wanted you, and nobody. Yes. And let's put this out here, because it's called Trees Transparency. Now, your sisters wasn't very forthcoming with helping you.
No, I got no.
So really you had to fight just to get them to come.
Right.
And now thank God that now my mom and your mom is back together.
Yes.
That is a yes.
There is
and
blessing.
now
look at God.
Yes. That's my favorite word.
Tree
look
got
at
me saying
God.
that. Look at God. He miraculously healed Carmen, brought her back
From a third brain surgery.
Yeah, from a third brain surgery. And she worked hard to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And bless Tree, oh my gosh, I can't wait for y'all to hear her story. I'm telling you, wow. When oh wow. And we were just mimicking each other. It was
Mm-hmm.
really crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
again, out of all of this, my greatest happiness is my friendship with Tree. That will never
my sisterhood. That's
my
sisterhood.
That's my sister.
And to bring this not to a close,
Mm-hmm.
but to understanding that nobody's perfect, right?
Correct.
Okay. And also, once you change your atmosphere, your element, and you're out of your element, and you have to accommodate yourself in that element,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard.
It's very hard.
And
recreate a life.
Yes. And it's like we're taking care of our mothers. And when you're born, you're a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Then you grow up.
Okay.
And then when you get older, it's like their mental is back like a child. So you don't want to treat your mother like a child, but
there's toddler stages.
Yes.
Oh yes, the terrible 2s and 3s. Mama laughs about that too, and would laugh about, look at you having to change my diapers. She wears briefs; they're not diapers, but
Mm-hmm.
Just the
Mm-hmm.
whole trends. It flips.
Yeah.
And again, I've been very, very lucky because my mother is not sickly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, my sisters and I made a promise to our father we would take care of our mother,
Mm-hmm.
and I was abiding to that. I don't feel like my sisters did or but that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did everything I could.
Mm-hmm.
I did recently make the decision with Tree's guidance and everybody else I love that I asked them, what should I do? We did move out
Mm-hmm.
because Carmen was able to come back. We live 3 minutes away from Mama.
Mm-hmm.
So I do her banking for her. I do, medicines, take her to the doctor. Carmen can't drive. That was the only issue coming back, was that she
Mm-hmm.
lost her license for a while. So with me being so close, I can still do all the running around for them, grocery
Mm-hmm.
shopping,
and me as well.
Yeah,
we do running
Mom.
around together.
Yes,
and
we do.
everything. And that right there, the transition from coming from her house to here
Mm-hmm.
is like sunshine.
Oh my gosh. There is a load has been taken off of me. I will share, y'all, that when I was trying to make a decision about, I don't know if I can live here anymore, it had just really gotten so bad. I drove to Greer, South Carolina, to where my dad is buried, and I sat on his grave where I knew his body was, held his hands, asked him to hold me, and prayed and prayed and prayed. Drove back home, and literally within 2 hours of coming home, I had a place to live. Mama was good with it. Carmen was coming back. Again, look at God.
Mm-hmm.
Look at God. In one thing I will say and stress highly, you do need some kind of support system going through.
Yes.
If I did
that
not
was the
have
main
Tree,
thing.
because my sisters were not a support. They're not somebody I could call and go, oh my God, Mama's being such crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? And Tree was the one I'd reach out to. And you need that. You cannot do it alone. You can't do it alone. My husband was right there with me through the whole thing, but Mama had issues with him. So that wasn't,
it's more of you saying that you need that support system that know what you're going through.
Exactly.
Because you never can speak on nothing if you haven't experienced it.
Yeah. I have another friend, Annie, God bless her too. She had her father live with her for, I guess, 2 to 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
maybe longer.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a very different style. It was
Mm-hmm.
an easy, he wasn't mean to
Mhm,
her or
mhm,
anything like that.
mhm.
And, God bless, I wish I could have had that
But
experience, but I didn't. I would never do it again. If
it's
someone would ask me that, I
it's
would say no.
different. People are different,
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
and every situation is different. But in the middle of it, it comes the same. If you know what I'm trying to say,
Mhm.
like even though my mom had brain surgery, your mom isn't that sickly.
Mhm.
She just have dementia,
Right.
and even though it's different situations, different bodies, the situation is basically the
It
same
is. It is. It is. We are caregiving for another person
person.
that we never in our life thought we would ever be.
I
going
never
to
thought,
take.
never,
No,
never.
never entered my wheelhouse. Didn't know this was going to ever be a thing.
Mhm.
I'm thankful that I was available for this year,
Mhm.
to be able to be with my mom. And I truly never had an intention of ever leaving. I would have stayed,
Mhm.
but she really just made it unbearable.
Mhm.
It was so. I
But
was
look at
so
God.
happy. But
But
look
look
at
at
God.
God
Now I can go love on my mama and
and
have
leave,
and leave it behind.
and she's happy
Oh, she's
because
so happy.
their
Back together.
mom and my mom and your mom are like
Living long.
sisters.
They are. They are.
They've been together 15, 16
Well,
years,
together-
maybe
yeah,
more,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Yeah, about
And
15
and
probably.
when mom gets sick, your mom gets sick,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
through the whole situation with with her brain surgery, she always kept telling the doctors, "I need to get back to Miss Jane. I need to get back to Miss Jane."
She did. She did.
And
she fought hard to get back to Miss Jane,
so-
and that's why, rightfully so, that caregiving job is her.
Yeah.
One thing I've said about your mom, and she is an amazing caregiver. She has done this a lot in her life. She had told my mom when my dad passed that God had sent her to take care of a couple,
Mhm.
and just because my dad was gone, that couple was still there.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
that's why she made a commitment to my mama. And I look at Carmen like kind of like Superman, where the bullets reflect off of her, like how she's metal. Those same bullets that Mama hurl at her go through me and penetrate me and hurt me. But she could be, Carmen just can handle it. So, she's what she.
And just like when she, before she went into surgery, she thought she was going to die on the table.
She did, yeah.
And I'm the one who had the dream. And I said, Mama, God said he wasn't through with you yet.
Yeah, it's not. She got more people to take care of. She's got my mama to finish raising.
Yeah.
And then whoever else will be lucky enough to get.
And she always said that when God comes get Miss Jane, God is coming to get her, because they got that bond.
Yeah.
They got that bond.
Yeah.
So it's been a trying time, but look at God. We're through it.
Yes.
We're through it.
Smiles on our
We
face
still living life.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that pressure is off. And to bring it to an end, did I cover everything? Did you have any comments or anything that I didn't cover or asked you?
I just appreciate you bringing this out into the open with your research and the things that you've shared with me. I am just amazed. You feel like you're the only person doing this, and I'm not trying not to get emotional, but
you can,
really do.
Because I get emotional too.
Hold
I'm getting emotional. I'm holding back
I know.
tears now.
I know. But I just, I never thought that my life this year would have happened. I'm thankful that I was able to take care of my mom, but it has damaged, I feel like, forever relationships that I don't know that I want to have back.
Or mend.
But, yeah. I don't
or try to mend it.
I don't need, there's a lot of that, and I'm,
especially with your sisters.
some
hurt.
It's hard to forgive.
Some hurts you can't forgive,
Yeah.
and it's no coming back from it.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
And to mend it, it'll just bring in that pain again, and you don't want to feel that.
And
so
I don't think they would. They don't understand.
That's
the thing. They
don't want to understand. A lot of people don't want to understand it, or actually know it, but refuse to acknowledge it.
And accept it.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They might
See,
know
that's
it.
why I love to talk to you, because you give me a better perspective.
Thank you so much.
Always.
And I love, and I'm going to put it out on the record that I love that you pushed me into things that I thought I wouldn't do because I was scared. And you've been my rock. You've been the person I could call on and just
we
talk.
had some late night talks.
Oh, and talk about my feelings, talk about things that's on my head, my books, my podcast, everything that I wanted to do. You was right there, and
I support you.
you my biggest
You
my
I
biggest
am your biggest fan. I
fan.
don't take a mod, and Carmen might want. I mean, if they would probably fight me over that. But
Yeah.
yes, I am a huge fan of yours, and always have been. Always have been. Way before this happened, but we just got solid.
Hmm.
You know, you helped me through so many tough times. I don't know. I don't know where would I've run to, but I would have wanted to run away, but I didn't have to, because I could run to you and call you.
And my
be
door is
there.
always open.
Yes, yes.
My door is always open. My phone number hasn't changed. And anytime,
Yes.
anytime. And this is my sisterhood. This is not my sisterhood. This is my sister. And thank you for letting me interview you about this situation.
Thank you for
And
asking me the
thank you.
questions.
I love you. I love you. Okay.